Good afternoon. We will call the meeting of the Oklahoma City Water Utilities Trust of July 31st, 2018 to order. First item is to review the minutes of the July 17th Oklahoma City Water Utilities Trust meeting.
Move approval of the minutes.
Second. Thank you. Voting, and it's approved unanimously. Next item is the consent docket.
Move approval subject to individual consideration.
Thank you. Thank you. Are there any individual considerations? Okay, thank you. Voting. It's approved unanimously. Next is item number 4, concurrence docket.
Move approval subject to individual consideration.
Thank you. Are there any individual considerations? Seeing none, voting. It's approved unanimously. Next is item 5, items for individual consideration. The first, item A1, is a presentation on process flow evaluation and system integration design and implementation services.
Mr. Chairman, Josh Morgan is here to deliver the presentation.
Great. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, trustees. So I'm here this afternoon just to give you a quick update on where we're at with this project. Again, high-level goals of this project just to advance the utilities business processes. So we want to get better at what we do. We want to advance the utilization of technology to be able to do that. At the end of the day, the whole goal is to be able to serve the customers better. That's the whole goal of this initiative. Since we've met last time, we have established a steering committee. The steering committee consists of representatives from 5 departments throughout the city. The great thing about this project is it is so wide-reaching. So on the steering committee, fire department, public works, development services, IT and utilities, they're all fully engaged. They're all excited about the initiative that we have coming up. The purpose of the steering committee is just to help govern the project, to help direct it, to help make sure that we're moving in the line that everyone is okay with. Last time I was here on April the 10th, we had requested authorization to negotiate scope with CH2M Hill Engineers. That's what we've been working on for the last few months. We have since negotiated a scope with CH2M Hill Engineers for a professional services agreement that does meet the goals of the initiative. The scope has been reviewed by the steering committee as well. All the different departments' representatives are on board with it. It definitely meets the goals of the initiative. The project essentially is broken down into 4 phases. So phase 1 is they're going to come in and they're going to help take a look at what we do today. So in order to get better, we have to know what we do. How are we doing it? How do we think we're doing it? Where are we actually at? Step 2 is based upon where we're at, take a look at the systems that we use to do our job every day. How do we get better? It's just part of it. What are the systems we use? Can the systems that we have in place today actually be modified to be able to meet it? Do we need new systems? They're going to help us look through all of that part of it. Phase 3 is actually, once we have the design, phase 3 is, do we need to do an RFP for subsequent implementations? Do we need to bring another contractor in just to help us, connect some of the systems to be able to get better? And then phase 4 is implementation management. So the way this SOW is written, CH2M Hill is responsible for start to finish, from defining or helping us evaluate what we need to do all the way through seeing it implemented, start to finish. Just some of the high-level stuff that we're going to work on. Private development is a huge piece of this. This is the part that actually incorporates all the other departments as well, from fire, public works. The whole idea here is to create a streamlined business process, transparent. So transparent to us, transparent to the citizens. We want something that anybody can take a look and see, where's my request at, where are my plans at in the process, start to finish. The second, well, that sums up the second bullet point, all the way from planning and subdivision, from zoning, all the way through when we, whether it's water, trash, whenever we start service, all the way through where it's at. The fun part of that is, think about how complex, how many different departments that actually goes through today. There's a lot, but 6 or 7 different places it goes through. So this is going to be the biggest piece of it by far. Work management. So this gets into how do our employees actually do the work that they do. From planning and scheduling to inventory management, those two really go together. So just making sure that we're responding to the customer's request in a timely manner in a way that makes the most sense. Asset management, infrastructure record management, when you start talking about the condition assessment projects that we have going on, We have a lot of assets. How do we maintain those assets? Where do we store the records for those assets? How do we make those records available to our employees who are working on them? All of that, making sure that it's streamlined. The third part of it is customer service. So automated service initiation. We want to streamline the process for a citizen to call in and create service with us. So if they move into a house, they need water service, they need trash service. We want to help make that process easier, as well as the utility billing services. So just helping us take a look at how we actually generate the bill, how we give the bill, how we collect the money, just having to make sure that we're doing this in the best manner, the manner that best serves the customer as well. That's all I have for you today. This project is nothing, you guys have seen it a couple different times now, so that's where we're at. The request in front of you today is to approve the SOW that we've negotiated. With that, is there any questions or comments?
Any questions?
The overall timeline for the study?
The evaluations are estimated about 6 months.
Okay.
So we're expecting around a year. Around 12 months, we'll be ready to start implementing the changes.
Okay.
This is built in where if there's low-hanging fruit, if there's things that we can do more expeditiously,
Right.
the contract is built where we can start doing those, as well as, when you look at work management, development services, we can do a lot of this work concurrently. So it's not we're going to do one and then
Right.
move to the next. Whatever our staff, the city staff is able to do concurrently, we're going to be able to do concurrently.
Good. Okay.
Mr. Graves, we have a number of the solutions already in place. They're just not integrated.
Right.
So a big piece of this is integrating our work management with our customer information, and then integrating the entire development process, from permitting all the way through to us figuring out what service do they get, setting up an account, and sending a bill.
Right.
So it goes from the very beginning to the very end, and full integration for the whole thing.
A lot of moving parts.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much. Very good report. Thank you. Okay, now there's a second component, as mentioned, and that's the consideration for the contract with CH2M Hill Engineers, Inc. for an estimated cost of $1,692,850.
Move approval.
Thank you. Second, thank you. Any questions or comments? Voting? And it's approved unanimously. Next, item number 6 is items from trustees. Thank you. Okay, seeing none. Next is the general manager report. Chris?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The year-end pro forma looks good. We made the revenues we anticipated. We spent a little less than we anticipated, primarily energy savings on water. Wastewater was a wash. Everything worked as anticipated. Lake levels, we're executing the water balance plan pretty well. All the lakes are generally about 2 feet from full pool, which is not bad this time of the year. Hefner got a little rain yesterday, so it came up a bit. So yeah, we met with the boat club yesterday, and they were really happy about the lake level of Hefner. So we're not doing too bad in that regard. Now, Atoka's going to be down next year because of the spillway construction, but otherwise, I think staff's doing a great job in managing our water.
Great.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Well, thank you very much. Next is citizens to be heard. Are there any citizens to be heard? Seeing none, we're adjourned.